Let me say this to you. That thing ain't surviving. He's the same.
Phillies, you stopped putting him on because Philly was giving him a hard time.
He's like the third most important dude in the NFL today, behind Roger Goodell and Pash.
Yeah.
Outside of them dudes, man, Rich hates to play.
Guys, let's dive into the defense today. I'll say this. All right, not a lot of talent on that Chiefs offense right now with the injuries that they have, with the players that they have. Travis Kelce is obviously not the same guy, but that was not a plan I expected to see from Vic Fangio. A lot of blitzes in that football game. I thought Jordan Davis had a pretty strong game. John, I'm going to come to you to start on the defensive side of the ball. What stood out to you from the Eagles' defensive performance today in this game?
A lot of good things, as I mentioned. I thought, Nolan Smith as a run support. Like I think people don't understand what he is as an edge defender because they think, well, he's 237 pounds, he can't hold up. He's one of the most physically imposing players on the edge because of his want to and willingness. And you saw it on that big fourth down stop in Kansas City territory, which gave the Eagles the lead at a certain point. Cooper DeJean, his ability to tackle in the open field is a positive. I thought you saw Zadarius Smith. Imagine what he's going to add to this defense when he's up to speed and when he's conditioned and what he can bring that on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, that kind of presence. Little bit injury-wise, Jalen Carter was obviously dealing with something with his arm. Jordan Davis went down with a hamstring. Those things could be it might be because it was 90.
Yeah, I thought it was cramps, John.
You have to hope it. If it's a hamstring, because he came off twice.
But they didn't bring him into the tent. So when they didn't put him in the tent and they just had him there on the side, it made me think cramps. Because if it was something like a hamstring, they may have.
You're probably right because they let him come back in the game. Yeah. And then they said, all right, sit it out. So hopefully that was about the heat. But keep an eye on those two things as we start the week. And then I think the secondary is a work in progress. Obviously, you saw some blown coverages late, but that's what happens when you have younger players back there. But you got to give Drew Makuba credit for making plays. Like we made fun of him for getting run over by Patrick Mahomes. Then he missed another. Then he made that big stop on, I think it was Hollywood Brown, where it was sort of a mesh route and he stops him a yard short of the first down. I thought that was a big, and obviously he made the big interception, which was more of a Johnny on the spot thing. But I thought there's a lot of positives from the defensive side of the football. I'm also taking it with a grain of salt. Again, I expected that to happen. I told people, be cautious. They're going to have a good defensive game because Kansas City's so limited. And that's what happened. They had a good defensive game. But I like the plan. Vic is like when you think you got Vic figured out, he's going to come at you a different way. And to Sill's point, he knew better than anybody. He didn't have to worry about those receivers. So he felt that he could be more aggressive and take more chances than he usually would.
Yeah,
I would say this point too. Where was Spawn in the game? I mean,
usually he flashes. Didn't really see the big flash today.
I thought they used him as the landmark, John, on how to create space back there. And that was how they were able to get guys open wherever he was. I thought that was the guy that, to your point, the best you said this in the pregame, the best defensive football player, the best talented players on the D-line, but the best football player is that guy. How that defense goes in pass defense, in my opinion, goes with Q and it goes with Bond. And I thought Mahomes moved him around with his head and put him out of the play and gave them their best chance to be able to complete some passes with those limited guys. Remember, Zander, I mean, when you're kicking field goals and Jake Elliott's kicking field goals, at the end of the day, that's a win for Kansas City. They want you kicking field goals. They don't want you sticking touchdowns in on them because they're so limited. And I agree. I think, look, Cooper DeJean in space, I thought I saw Kelsey school him once when he got him open it there in the open field. But other than that, that guy, a little too aggressive on the numbers outside a little bit. And I saw teams and I saw guys planting their anchor foot and spinning him around, getting first downs. So maybe a little bit too over aggressive. Maybe that's one of the reasons they don't put him out there on the numbers, because I thought he was aggressive out there. But he is really a great tackler when it comes to being in space. John, would you not agree? That was a pretty good tackling performance by the Eagles. I have to watch it too. But I thought they got guys on the ground.
Yeah. Especially Cooper. Yeah, Cooper, that's the strength of his game. One of many strengths, but I think he might be the best open field tackler, and maybe it's a low bar in the modern game as far as cornerbacks go. But he's tremendous. I thought Makuba had the big stop. The linebackers were great in limiting the underneath stuff. It wasn't to your point. It wasn't you. I think we've gotten spoiled by Zach Bond. We expect the splash play every week, and we didn't get the splash play. But I imagine after I watch the all 22, he plays pretty well, but we'll see.
How'd you think the pressure was, John?
I thought it was better than last week.
Yeah, but not the manufactured pressure by blitzing. What'd you make of just 4-down pressure by the guys? Did you think that – because, again, you and I both saw Zadarius Smith, and he was an impact out there. But what'd you think?
I thought there were a couple good Jalen Carter rushes. Now, the one he did that, and we were talking at halftime, they did a little stunt where he came outside, and that was the play that Patrick he took a bad, undisciplined pass rushing route, but he was getting there. The problem is he lost contain, and Patrick took advantage of it. So, his presence, I thought, showed up. Morrow got his first regular season sack. That was late, but, maybe that gives him some confidence. It wasn't otherworldly, but I thought it was a lot better. And I think you see it falling into place the more Zadarius Smith plays. I think it'll get better and better.
John, Jalix Hunt is exactly what you said. Overhyped, not under-talented. And what I mean by that is he's like a green apple on a tree. He's just not ready to pick yet. And so that guy has the talent to be able to be somebody down the line. You see why they took him in the third round, but I thought I saw him get washed down a little bit. I mean, I saw some good pressures. I saw him running into contact a little bit too much and not picking a side. There's no doubt when Zadarius Smith is out there on the edge and he's out there on the edge, bro, it's the moon and the sun. It's completely a whole different look for the Eagle defense when Zadarius Smith is playing end versus Jalix Hunt. Jalix Hunt, I think they want him to be the rotating guy. And they eventually want him down the line.
No question.
But that guy, I mean, the defense was completely different when he was out there, and I'm talking Smith. Zadarius.
Yeah. And the Jalix, the point about Jalix, I just, and my term I always use is people are skipping steps to your green apple.
Yeah.
They're jumping the gun. I mean, he's got potential, but he shouldn't be a starting edge rusher on the Super Bowl champions. They need more at that position. I think as a third or fourth guy, that's good. Ascending guy, and hopefully he gets better learning from somebody like Zadarius Smith. Part of the reason Zadarius is here, he told me on Friday, he got Brandon Graham's locker, by the way. They kicked poor Ty Robinson out of it. And they already mentioned Zadarius. They want him to, bring the young guys along. That's part of his job as well.
Yeah, John, they want him in the Nolan Smith role of a year ago before BG got hurt. That's the role they want his butt in. I mean, and then eventually, hopefully, he ends up winning the job from him because, again, that's what you bring veterans like that in. You want them to beat them out eventually because, again, home improvement, guys you drafted, self-evaluation, and also player development. you're hoping he wins that job down the line.
I tell you what, he looked damn good, though, Zadarius Smith out there.
He did.
I mean, still, the one thing I was looking
Off
for
the
was him,
street, he looked good.
That's what I mean. I thought you made a good point about, different guys take a different amount of time to acclimate. 33-year-old might take a little bit longer, but I think you saw the opposite. I think the veteran presence allowed him to really.
You know what he
was a force from play one out there. You could tell the edge was different.
You know what he reminded me of? When Sue and Linville Joseph came in, those guys were immediate impact guys against the run. Now, Sue was not the guy we saw in Detroit when he was a dual threat guy and 3-down guy where he could go out, get you 10 sacks, 7 sacks from the interior. He's not that guy. He was brought in to be a run stopper. Joseph was probably the better run stopper. Those guys came in and they were pros. They don't need training camp. They don't need any of that. Now you need football. And they don't want it either, right, John? They don't want any of that, but they need football reps. And that's where Zadarius Smith is right now. He needs football reps, not sitting on a bike. And so that'll come.
He understands that. He's been working out like that. Part of his plan was, well, he admitted, very honest guy. He admitted, he was hoping to get more money, but he realizes the situation. He's 33 years old. And when you turn 30 in this league, people look to go in other directions, whether fair or not. But, he didn't want to come in for spring work. He didn't want to come in for training camp. He was like, he probably wanted to come in a little bit earlier, but it was just to get into that shape you're talking about, Sills. But he started putting on his helmet when he was working out a couple of weeks ago.
John, he wanted to stay
just
in
to
Detroit.
get used to it.
I think he was disappointed that Detroit didn't bring him back sooner. And once the season started, he knew that they weren't. And so, again, I thought that's one of the reasons why he didn't sign earlier is because I think he had his heart set on it. Remember, because when he got traded, I believe from Cleveland to Detroit.
A
year ago.
Well, I think there's a lot of, Obo was a former teammate of his in Cleveland, and he talked up the Eagles and what kind of organization they are. There's that mentality of, oh, you don't want to sign him before week one. The Eagles wanted to bring him in for week one, and then they said, the game plan's already in. Let's wait a week. Now, a lot of people took that as, well, if you're on the roster week one, you don't have to guarantee his whole salary if you wait to week two, but they guaranteed his whole salary. So that wasn't part of it. And then he's got incentives that can get it up to $9 million, which he said are very makeable. 5 to 15 sacks. He's definitely going to get 5 sacks. I mean, this guy can rush the passer. Is he going to get?
Did he get credited for a sack on that one today, or is that a half a sack, or what?
He got a half a sack. He got a half a sack.
Hey, John, I'm starting to see some people going here, and they're going like, Chris Jones didn't do shit in this ball game. They held the Eagle offense at 216 yards and 15 first down. I mean, what are you guys talking about?
Wow.
They absolutely stymied that offense today. So before anyone starts saying that Spags didn't do it, you held that team to – I can't remember the last time the Eagles had less than 225 yards of total offense in the last 4 years. Now, you see, there's people going, and they lost. Right. I remember the same people in 23 telling me how great that team was at 10-1, and I'm going, that's not the same team that you guys think it is. I'm not there with John. I'm not there with Zander. I'm not saying that. Okay, we need more out of September.
No, I'm definitely not saying that.
Don't sit there and try to tell me that these first 8 quarters that you see in your team play offensively is a Super Bowl offense.
All right,
listen. Not a Super Bowl offense, my friends.
I agree. But I will say this about the defense as we talk about the defense right now. A lot more off-season questions existed about the defense as compared to the offense. Rightfully so. They were the best defense in football last year. They lost Gardner Johnson. They lost Milton Williams. They lost Josh Sweat. They lost Darius Slay. They lost a lot of those guys. I think it's been a pretty good output for the first 2 weeks of the year. Now, I know you haven't played the Chiefs at their top of their game. The Dallas Cowboys are whatever they are. They were in a pissing match with the New York Giants today. But I think pretty good returns for this defense. For a lot of moving parts, a lot of change coming in for the first 2 games of the year. Is that fair to say?
Wait. Let me ask you back on that. So in the first 8 quarters of the season, the only true threat that the Eagles had to defend was CeeDee Lamb.
Couldn't defend him, by the way.
Is that fair?
He defended himself.
Right.
But they couldn't defend him.
I mean, if we're all taking bows here on going over Juju Smith-Schuster, and you're defending Juju Smith-Schuster, congratulations.
No, I'm not defending it. I'm just looking at the output. I'm looking at the total output.
I'm saying.
Well, no, I'm Xander. I'm with Sills here because, like, we talked about this pregame, like we talked about it during the week on Birds 365. I said, don't be surprised if the Eagles have a great defensive game, and don't get overhyped by it. Who is out there that impressed you that they stopped?
Well, I mean, John, you say this all the time. Every team's got players. I know they don't have everybody they have, but it's still the Chiefs. It's still Arrowhead. It's week 2 of the.
Well, there's still NFL players. There's still NFL players.
I mean, you talk about CeeDee Lamb. Let's be real. Tyquan Thornton. He also got behind our defense today, and Patrick Mahomes egregiously missed him. He was like,
"That's my point." Yeah. That ain't good.
What was that guy's name?
That's the point.
I've never heard of him.
Yeah, Tyquan Thornton. So you guys aren't impressed at all.
He can run. He can run.
Okay,
I'm impressed by certain things.
Not impressed at all.
I was impressed by Nolan Smith. I was impressed by Cooper DeJean. I was impressed by Zadarius Smith. They have 2 Z's, but that's just,
Carter.
Zadarius Smith. Carter. There's little things. Yeah, there's little pockets, but there's still things you have to be worried about. And yeah, to me, the context, look, at the end of that game, when it was 20-10, they couldn't do anything. And they let Tyquan Thornton get behind him, 3 times?
Taekwondo got behind 3 times,
great.
John. 3 times and 1 wide open. Taekwondo got open.
I'll tell you what, I didn't think Jalen Carter had a great game today.
Well, I didn't think he had a great game by his standards, but I thought you saw his impact when he was on the field.
The pocket, though.
Yeah,
I think my standard on him might be too high. I might have to lower that.
No, get him another game, Zander. It's September. Hang in there.
I know. I'm with you. I'm just saying. I think the defense is looking better than I was expecting them to. I just said that. You guys don't agree, which is fine. But I wasn't super impressed by Jalen Carter.
I went and locked down Taekwondo today. I was really impressed. I mean, hey, go get him.
By the way,
Mitchell got beat on that, or was that a busted coverage that he tried to make up for?
That's Vic's. See, that's Vic's defense, man. Yeah. Reid took the underneath receiver. It might have been Reid's responsibility as the backup, as the last man, and he took the bait. Or it could have been Quinion blowing the coverage. I don't know. I'll ask Vic.
Yeah,
and he'll probably tell me, but I can't tell you that right now.
It's going to be interesting.
The assumption that but when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles, the assumption that the closest defender is the one getting beat is not always correct.
That's correct. Especially when you're running too high. Absolutely true.
Yeah.
The guy underneath traditionally is not the one at fault. It's the guy over the top. That they run. It's almost like
my guess on that play is Reid took the cheese and it's Reid's fault. That's my guess.
That's how I read it, John, was Reid Blankenship's issue.
I was pretty impressed by Quinion. Quinion almost got back there. Now he didn't, but he almost did.
If it was Reid's fault, it was impressive.
Yeah, right.
If it was not Reid's fault, then it was unimpressive. That's my point.
Another positive I would say from this game, I'll see if you guys agree or not. I think the special teams has been a pleasant surprise to start the year. Specifically, Jake Elliott, who has just looked completely back to himself, is booting.
The punter.
The punter, Braden Mann. That's where I was going next. He's awesome, is right. Braden Mann is a beast of a punter.
So is Jake. I mean, Jake's making 58-yard field goals. Look like that.
Hey, John, he could have made that from 68. That one he hit up on the net.
That 51-yarder looked like an extra point to him.
Yeah.
He's bounced back. I got shouted down. I never stop talking about these special teams. These special teams have been great.
Yeah,
they have. They have. I thought the punt cover. I mean, I thought the punt coverage was great today. I tell you, Michael Clay. Since that first year in 21, dude, he's got a good unit, man. And I think Howie's put some really nice players on that team for him, and they've been able. By the way, because you're so talented at linebacker, you're able to put people like Trotter on net and punt coverage, kick coverage. When you got players like that involved in a team like that, you win field position. Special teams are so essential, especially when you're trying to maturing a defense, is that you're giving your defense great field position to work with. And I thought they did that entire game. Really, their special teams have been really good so far in the 8 quarters.
I was hoping to see Tank Bigsby on kick return. I think they kicked away from him intentionally. They went to Mechie over and over again there.
Yeah, he was back there, but you're kind of at the mercy of where the kicker's going to kick it. And Mechie got both of them. So, you'll get to see him eventually. They'll kick it to him. And we'll see how that works out. Look for Cam Latu too. He's in Alabama.
He had a big block on that first. I think that
he's a good special teams player.
How high do you think the flame will be come Monday on Kevin Patullo? Unwarranted or not? How high do you think that flame?
I mean, what are you talking about? WIP flame or
media flame? Media flame. How high do you think the flame?
Well, even sanity media flame or WIP media flame.
Wait, John. Sileo, IP, Insanity flame.
Sileo drops himself right in the bucket. At least you know what you're doing, Phil.
Will you?
It is going to be very hot amongst the.
Wait, but I'll say this. I mean,
amongst the hot take people, it's going to be very
all
hot.
over. It's funny. It's like the Eagle. It's like I know it because I live here and I get it. Philly fans all over my social media timeline are absolutely ripping Kevin Patullo. Then we come on the show, we say one bad thing about Kevin Patullo, and they're mad at it. They're mad at us for talking about it. It's all right, everybody.
But it's Patullo and Hurts.
Yeah, it's the insanity. It's the same thing. You know me. I can't stand when everybody boils it down to quarterback versus quarterback. I can't stand what's the problem? The problem's Kevin Patullo. All right, you're out of the conversation. You don't belong in the conversation.
Answer me this, all right? Because I agree.
It's execution and situational play calling.
All right, answer me this. In the first half, there was a play that Jalen Hurts was in the pocket with a clean pocket for 5 seconds.
Yeah,
legitimately
that's
5
Jalen
seconds.
Hurts.
He didn't throw the ball, and then he threw it away, and or checked it down. I'm like, Hurts barely checks it down to begin with. Now he's checking it down after 5 seconds. Is nobody open? Is he not finding? I gotta watch.
I have to watch the film.
Well, we talked about this in the pregame. Windows in the NFL, if you don't throw on time, it's going to look bad,
right?
Because you're going to pull it down, and then it starts the ugly stuff. So it's very hard for him. And when the all 22 comes out, we'll get to see. It's very hard for me to believe that AJ Brown and DeVonta Smith are never open if you're throwing the football on time.
14 targets, John, 80 yards in week 2.
Well, that's another thing. Now, if you want to blame Kevin, Kevin's part of it. I'm not excusing Kevin, and I like him personally, and I'm not excusing him. He's part of the problem. And part of the problem is I think they're too conservative. I think they're too beholden to ball security. I think they're too focused on we got to ride Saquon, and they have to evolve this thing.
Yeah, but John, that conservatism that they have in their play calling and not turning the ball over,
they want
the play in the game was the turnover, and that's how I think they're winning ball games.
I agree, John. Or Tills, that was the play.
I agree with you, John.
If the Chiefs scored there, that would have been a way different football game.
If they scored that touchdown, the game's different.
Yeah.
Look, I tell you all the time. And this is not my speculation. This is how they look at things. 2 stats: turnovers, explosive plays.
Right.
That's it. That's all they care about. If they win both of those battles, they're going to win the game.
Well, they better have a conversation about explosive plays then, because they had one of them today to DeVonta Smith, and it was a prayer.
Ton of checkdowns today. Yeah. I couldn't believe what I was watching a little bit. A lot of under the stick stuff, which is like one of the first times I've seen under the stick throws. There were quite a few of them. Barkley had, I don't know how many catches Barkley had, but Barkley was somewhat, part of the passing game here too. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, there were a lot of, hey, John, really?
He was more stuff. Part of it last week. He had 2 catches.
A lot of underneath stuff today.
By the way, it is coming out. Sileo,
done.
you were correct on Chris Jones chirping. I'll get your guys' comment on this. Chris Jones says, you don't even have 100 yards at the line of scrimmage at the end of the game. I assume talking to Jalen Hurts. And
He
Hurts
is talking back
with, we won the effing game. Shut your ass up. That's Jalen Hurts.
Hey, wait. Bill Moss texts me. He texts me that. He goes, you see what Chris Jones did at the line of scrimmage? I go, no. He goes up to Hurts. He looks him right in the face. He goes, you need to have 100 yards. You call yourself a quarterback?
Oh, man. Well, Chris Jones is chirping. I think he's got it right. But
look,
hey,
man,
God, this is the stuff we talk about.
Guys
like Carter. This is what goes on in there.
What do you think they talk about? What do you think? How's your family? You know,
hey,
everybody loves it when
a quarterback.
Everybody loves it when BG does it. When the other team does it, they hate it. But,
I don't hate it. I was just saying it because it's got making the rounds on social. I figured I'd get some comments from the boys on it.
Yeah, I like that stuff. It makes for a great rivalry.
It does.
I don't have a problem with that.
You know, he's got. I think he had 152 last week. I think was the number.
Yeah.
And the number this week is 101.
Hey, John,
I mean,
the guy at Army, John, a year ago was throwing for 100 yards.
Don't do that to me again. What's that kid's name? Bryson Daly or something?
Bryson Daly threw for 100 yards, John.
Oh, Bright. Yeah, he's terrible. I don't know if that continues. I don't think people are going to be happy. But I don't think it's going to continue.
As long as you keep winning, man.
Well, John, can you answer me this? And I'm not trying to be the one that's questioning here, but I do get asked the question as the host of the show. You don't think it's going to continue, John? They were the 29th ranked passing offense in football last year. Now, hey, it didn't matter, right? They ran their way to a Super Bowl.
Sometimes
we had a parade down Broad Street. Well, now 2 weeks in, the passing game still doesn't look that great. What makes you think it's going to change, or why do you say that?
It's not.
Well, Pittsburgh, Washington, Kansas City.
Right.
They'll have games where they get it going.
That's right. It'll be games like that on the schedule. It won't be consistent. The key in this whole thing is Barkley not going for 138, 140 at 6'2" a carry. Last year, this guy was 6'2", 6'5" a carry. Think about that when you have the ball in your hand. Every time Saquon Barkley touched the ball, right? Every 2 times, he's getting you first downs. This guy's getting you first downs. You don't have to throw the ball. When you're 3-something a carry, bro, the difference in that offense is Barkley not getting 6'5" a carry. I don't know what he had in this one, John.
22 carries for 88 yards, so about 4 yards.
4 yards carry.
Last year was 6'5" a carry.
Yeah, it's got to get better. But they're 2-0. They've won 16 consecutive games where Jalen Hurts has started and finished. They're almost at a full NFL season.
Yeah.
Crazy great.
That is pretty great.
And their record on the road is insane.
But where I do think you guys give good context, and I think every fan should feel this as well, is we have seen that the record sometimes can be hollow. It doesn't tell the full story.
Oh, yeah.
So 2-0 is great. It's better than the alternative, obviously. But there are some things to clean up, and we got to see if they do it. Let's go to a couple super chats, guys. Let's see what the great people of JAKIB Nation are saying. They're fired up in the chat. We got to go to Jeremy, who hits us with a $50 super chat to start. Thank you, Jeremy. Finally back. It's been a minute, but we're back, boys. Always watch all of y'all content. Love you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeremy. Appreciate it, brother. Also became a member. We do have a jersey giveaway. They gave up less than 20 points, 17 points. So we'll be giving away another jersey. I still got a Cooper DeJean jersey sitting here. So we'll do a jersey giveaway. We're starting it up with Brian Pumper. Jalen Hurts takes so long to process plays. It's equivalent to the old school Grand Theft loading screens. I need Buddy to upgrade his hardware. Your guys' thoughts on Jalen's processing time in the game?
It could be better. I need Pumper to upgrade his metaphors, because all he talks about is video games. Come on.
John, do you think if they went more up tempo, because whenever they get up tempo,
they did went up tempo and they scored, and then they left it. I don't know.
They're so good.
But they're good up tempo.
Yeah, they're so good at that.
Yeah,
they need to do more.
I don't get it.
Of that.
I've asked Nick that so many times over the years. You know, part of it is conditioning. You can't just go can't be Paul Westhead running up and down. But you have veteran guys, and
what a pull.
So
John.
you have to be. You have to. Yeah. You have to manage it a little bit, but they do. They're very good with tempo. They are. They have been for a long time.
Here's James Carver. James Carver says, right now you're overlooking the O-line failures, especially Steen, just like everyone overlooked the contribution of JD until they started to use him also at 3-tech and not just shade or 2-eye at most prior to 25. So he's saying we're not giving enough.
He's playing against Chris Jones. I mean, and hey,
no, but I think the point is the offense is stagnant a lot in large part because that offensive line is not holding up like we're used to them holding up.
Because of what we've been pointing out for 2 weeks is that Landon's health. Dude, did you see him dragging his leg?
Yeah,
he's dragging his leg. I thought Steen had a great block on that Barkley touchdown run.
He did.
That was a great block on that. Now, Chris Jones is going to win the day, dude. He's going to win the day on you.
Yeah, he is. That's fair.
Hey, by the way, too, John,
I thought Tyler's been. I'm sorry, James. I think he's been fine so far.
Hey, get this. You know how many Chris Joneses you're going to play against in a year? One. You're going to play one guy like that.
Here's Carver again. He was not happy with Steen today. He says Steen had a horrible game. $20 super chat, by the way. Thank you, James.
Thank you.
Steen had a horrible game. Wait for the all 22.
Yeah,
he
but he's
collapsed
wrong.
the pocket almost every play, which screwed Hurts' timing and forced him to check
Pass
down and
protection,
scramble.
there was some issues.
Well, there was, but like you said, so
that's definitely his weakness. He got pushed in.
Yeah.
Jalen hit his helmet on Steen's.
Yeah,
hit his elbow on Steen's helmet.
I think that was the ball that popped right up going to AJ Brown. I think that was that play.
Yeah. But overall, I don't. There's a lot of.
He's not killing them. He's not.
By the way, Jalen Hurts is the Super Bowl MVP. He's got a Super Bowl ring. He makes $50 million a year. You don't have to spend your whole life making excuses for the guy. He's part of it as well.
Hey, I'll tell you what.
He's got more endorsements than God. He's very capable of handling constructive criticism. He loves hard coaching. You don't have to fall on the sword every week.
No, you're right. John, I thought that was a fungo bat hit. That pass you threw up there for that DeVonta. You know how you hit a fungo bat?
Oh, that was a fungo bat hit.
That was a fungo
you know
bat
what?
hit.
You know what, Spags? Close circuit the freaking Spags.
I get that. That's on him. You got to make that play.
50-50 ball to DeVonta or AJ is 70-30 at best for your side.
Yeah, but John, he wins today because there was only one of them. I mean, for the overwhelming part, we're the ones talking about the passing game being a problem.
Lost the game on that play.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
And the Kelsey play.
JD3 says, I'll take a week 2 ugly win in Arrowhead in the heat. Impressed with the defense, but hoping Patullo improves through the season. Z Smith made an impact. It was cool to see. Z Smith did make an impact. He was impactful out there.
Again, I'm going to keep putting an emphasis on it. Look, the greatest quarterbacks in the history of the National Football League, Bill Walsh, Joe Montana, North Turner, Aikman. Go down the list, dude. They're all married at the hip with this stuff. It's the quarterback. It's the coordinator. Sometimes you have bad games. It's just what it is. It's personnel matchups sometimes. You're going against really good coaching in Kansas City as well. Tough all of that plays. Again, it's not excuses. That's why each and every single week it's like a chameleon. Xander, chameleon could change its colors every week. The best teams in the NFL are the teams that traditionally can. The problem with the Eagles are we're this, and we're this guy, and we're not going to change. They're the only team I've ever seen that doesn't change week in and week out, and they go out there and win because the other teams don't make those 50-50 balls. Most teams can't stop the run game, but I will say this. That run game has been underwhelming for the first 2 weeks of the season.
And Mekhi Becton's gone. Maybe that has something to do with it. Jay Macklin said, John, he's with you. He said this before the show even kicked off. The tush push will not survive another year in the rule book. You guys agree? I think so. Cooked.
Well, it'll survive this year, but it won't survive past this year. It is cooked.
There's no way. I mean, they can't even.
It's almost to the point where every single one of them is
they can't even officiate it right now.
Yeah. Every single
I know Eagles fans can't take themselves out of the equation. So this is a bad audience. But if you were watching whoever's playing right now and you were just watching the game and didn't have anything invested in it, and you were watching that garbage, they can't officiate it. Everybody's jumping offside. Everybody's swiping at the ball. It is certainly not entertaining. It's only entertaining because your favorite team is successful at it. But the NFL has a bigger purview than you guys do.
Yeah,
TV.
No,
TV, John. I get on Rich McKay all the time on my programs, and he's the chairman of the competition committee.
Yeah.
And he's the Pied Piper that hates that thing.
Yeah, he is.
Let me say this to you. That thing ain't surviving. He's the same.
Phil, you stop putting him on because Philly was giving him a hard time.
He's like the third most important dude in the NFL today, behind Roger Goodell and Pash.
Yeah.
Outside of them dudes, man, Rich hates to play. Okay, and he wants that thing gone. And I'm telling you, they're going to get enough lovers to love that thing not to be in the league because it's a bad look on TV.
But when you can go to they can't officiate it,
yeah, it's over.
It's a done deal.
Yeah.
And they already started with that today.
Yeah, it's a way easier excuse than they had this summer trying to get rid of the play. Paul Barbarian checks in. What's up, Paul? Patillo has to get a feel for play calling, but to be fair, he faced two tough defensive coordinators with Eberflus and Spags. Also, Jalen has to let it rip sometimes. He overthinks plays like it's a playoff game. Hurts. I think that's fair. Pretty fair with everything you said there.
I don't know. Brian Eberflus made Brian Daboll look like Sean Desai. Well,
yeah. How many points the New York Giants had today?
Excuse me. Brian Daboll made Matt Eberflus look like Sean Desai.
Yeah.
So,
dude, Russell Wilson threw for 450 some odd yards and 3 touchdowns.
How many yards? Russell Wilson was 30 of 41 for 450 and 3 touchdowns.
Now, this is a week-to-week league. Every game has a personality. I always say it, but that's no excuse.
37 points and 450 yards passing. I'd hang in there about really him. It's a week-to-week deal. Well, there's your prime example of it. Well, doesn't that tell you one thing, too? So the New York Giants can put up 37 points, and the Eagles can't? You got A.J. Brown and DeVonta Smith.
What John just said. Every game's got its own
You got Malik Neighbors and my cousin playing wideout.
Malik Neighbors is good, though.
He is really good.
You see that catch in the back of the end zone today?
Yeah. Well, this is half the battle. The Eagles have figured it out. They just don't do it as much. When it comes down to it, and this is what I said in the Super Bowl, just throw the go route. Just throw it. And
AJ's going to win that. AJ's going to win that 8 to 10 times. If you go 50-50 jumps, he's winning that.
If they're going to zero blitz, just throw it.
Right. That's what they did in that one high popper.
Yeah. And DeVonta came down with it.
Yeah.
But they don't do it enough. And some of these, that the game looks like it's over and Russell Wilson just starts chucking it to Malik Neighbors. And guess what? First one, incomplete. Second one, touchdown. And they did the same thing with Thornton, Kansas City. Yeah. First one, incomplete. Second one, incomplete. Third one, touchdown.
Yep. And the second one should have been complete for a touchdown, too, as well.
The second one, that's one of Mahomes' worst throws in history. He was 20 yards by himself.
The one he missed a couple of years ago when he had the guy in the end zone against the Eagles, too. Remember? Yeah. He had him
back. That is such an interesting part of Vic Fangio's defense. When you saw Adoree almost cut over to the outside and he trips up on his own guy and just busted coverage. But it's interesting how he has those DBs play.
Hey, Zander, you know what you get to say today about Adoree Jackson? He didn't kill you.
No, he didn't get burned at all. But who was there to beat him? I mean,
I know. Bobby Smith.
Yeah, right. JD3 says Chris Jones just got added to the Tyler Steen Made Me Cry Club, joining Mason Graham. Steen won in crucial spots tonight. Stout you. I don't know. It's JD3.
No, he did not beat Chris Jones today.
Eagles fans are going to be coming for Chris Jones now.
He was chirping
trolling
us.
He does have 3 rings, and he's good, I'm sure. He's
Well,
the highest paid D tackle in the league too. And
well,
he's
Eagles fans are going to have it out for him.
Oh yeah, no, like the kid in with the Rams, who by the way had 2 sacks today.
Did he? Monster.
Yeah, Jared. Yeah, first he had 2 sacks today.
Yeah, he's a beast. All right, guys, what's the solution moving forward? We got week 3 next week. We got the LA Rams coming up. We got about 20 minutes left here on the post-game show with you guys on up on the screen with me, guys. Appreciate you joining, and hit that like button, everybody. Thanks for being here. With the Rams coming up, then you got the Bucks, and then I think in 5 you have Denver, and then you got the Giants, Vikings.
Well, you're already off the bat. You're worried about the Rams. You're already off script.
Right. All right. So worried about the Rams. What's the solution to this Eagles offense that does look stagnant through the first couple of weeks?
No solution. Just go play 60 minutes of ball and see how the first month.
And
figure it out.
The personality of that game might be a little bit different. So you might be forced to take some more chances, or you may be forced to throw the football down the field. And maybe it looks better. Maybe you open things up a little bit. Maybe you're forced to do it. And speaking of the Eagles kind of learning, last year, the most impressive thing about Vic's defense was so few. I talk about it all the time. And now you're seeing the opposite side of it, where you see some of the blown coverages. They had so few blown coverages last year. It was amazing. Considering how complicated it is for younger players, and Quinyon and Cooper were so good. Sean McVay, I talked to Britton Covey about this because he's good friends with, he spent the summer with the Rams, but he's also good friends with Puka Nacua. Puka used to live with his family, and they work out all the time. What Sean McVay, that I have not seen anybody else in football do, he will release Puka Nacua through the B gap, through the middle of the offensive line.
They ran a jet sweep today on a touchdown run.
Yeah. And people lose their mind. They don't know what to do.
Yeah.
John,
he had like a 38-yard TD run, bringing him wide, coming back inside, and he didn't take it wide. He cut it back up into the B gap.
Yeah. But he runs routes through the B gap. And you have to be a really, really physical player, because if you're smart,
that's on the safety.
And if the defensive line gets you can just knock them the freak down.
And that's what I would. I put an elbow on him.
Yeah. Yeah. But people are so unused to seeing it. I think it takes them by surprise. So that's one of those things I love about football. Nobody else does it. He does it. And he's such a big physical guy. I'm sure he's gotten hit, but he can do it. But this Rams team is a good team. Now, Kansas City, look, they might make the playoffs if they can hold their water, if they can get back into it, if they can win a game or two, stay at 500, get Rice back, get Worthy back. They could be a playoff team. Dallas, probably not. This is the first legitimately good team I think the Eagles will be. So I think it'll be a good test.
Hey, John, can you do us a favor tomorrow when you go over there? DeVonta Smith came down on his back. I wonder how, he comes out of that game, because Jalen addressed it today also at the post that, he came down and he was playing a little hurt in the ball game there. Because you know him, John. He guy's like a Gumby dude. I mean, this guy's never
looked like he came right. Yeah, it came right down on his tailbone, probably.
Yeah.
No, tomorrow's all Zoom stuff. We won't be down there till Tuesday. That's when we'll talk to Kevin Patullo.
Is that coordinator day? Is that coordinator day? Okay.
Wednesday is open locker room, so that'll be the next time we get to see the players. And we'll get a better indication, obviously, on who's hurt coming out of the game. Unfortunately, I'm not there, so I don't know what's going on from an injury standpoint. So, but a couple guys look banged up. Jalen looked banged up. Jalen Carter, not Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, he was grabbing on his wrist or something. Yeah.
Dory Jackson looked like he hurt his thumb early in the game. Came back, taped it up.
Dickerson was limping.
Dickerson's always limping. Jordan Davis with those cramps or whatever it was. Hopefully that was just the heat.
Yep.
So a couple things to keep an eye on.
I thought Jordan Davis had a good game today.
Yeah, I think he's playing well. I think the weight loss is helping him a lot.
More reps.
More reps, definitely, and seems to be more productive. Guys, I want to talk to you real quick, last couple minutes here. I want to talk to you about Andrew Makuba. John, and I'm going to go to you first on this. And the one thing I want to ask is he playing as well as people are thinking, or is the splash play making up for everything? You know, and he had 6 tackles today, 2 stops, an interception, and 1 pass defended, and half a sack. It's pretty clear he's a weapon and can be used as a weapon. It's only his second game as a pro. What's your thought on Andrew Makuba so far?
Well, did you see the interception?
Yeah. Was
that Andrew Makuba making a play, or was that Johnny on the spot?
Yeah.
That wasn't a Reid interception. That was a left interception.
Now, kind of why
I think he's playing fine. I think he's playing fine. I don't think he's playing poorly. I think there was some good. There was some bad. Getting run over by Patrick Mahomes, you don't want. On the other hand, I mentioned that stop. He stoned Hollywood Brown to keep him from getting a first down. But if you look, he had a half a sack with Zadarius Smith. So, he's been good as a sort of blitzer, which I didn't see coming. But I do think, to your point of it, if you just look at the box score in football, that's a bad way to look at football, because sometimes interceptions are you're making a play, and sometimes interceptions are, somebody tipped the ball or somebody dropped the ball and you're happen to be there. So I think you got to be very careful with that stuff.
Sills, your thoughts on Andrew Makuba so far? 2 games.
To John's point, sometimes the coordinator puts you in a position to make plays. And that's what Vic's scheme sometimes does. I think, like I said, coming out of the Dallas game, coming out of this game, he's a rookie, man. They kind of get passes with me because they're learning the sport and they're learning game tempo and they're learning how to cover. Look at what we saw with Cooper DeJean a year ago. He was playing so good, and then he got taken to the woodshed by a guy like Adam Thielen, who's one of the best route runners. He's not a spectacular player in any sense of the word in NFL history, but he's a pro's pro. These guys are going to go through bumps and bruises on how they do things and how they're going to have and fit into these defenses. So I think he's okay. And I guarantee you, come Tuesday, when Vic is asked a question about him, Vic's going to do what he did last week. He's going to go, he's getting there. He's getting there. I mean, I'll tell you this, I'm encouraged. His trend is going up. But to sit there and say that,
I'm very encouraged. But yeah, Jeff, to Sills's point, Vic said he blew a couple of coverages.
Yeah,
hopefully.
He got beat in a couple of coverages.
Yeah. So, but I think it's all positive. Yeah. I think, he's only going to get better.
Yeah.
So I think from and stuff like that, where it will help, it'll give you confidence when you make a big play and you make an interception at the goal line. And that thing could have been a pick 6. By the way, how about that Josh Simmons chasing him down?
Oh, man. I tweeted out he deserves some credit, man.
Boy, he kept close.
He got up to 18 miles an hour. That's an offensive tackle.
Hey, John, the last time I saw something like that was when, Eric, what's that guy? The offensive lineman, Larry Allen, on a Monday night game. Remember, he ran down that guy from 50 yards out when he were playing the Saints. They threw a pick, and he ran that dude.
Hey, you know what?
Getting close.
If that were Will Shipley, Eagles fans would be shitting all over him. He got chased down by Josh Simmons.
Got chased down by a 500-pound old lineman. Not good.
That was you got to tip the cap there to Josh Simmons. Man. That was impressive stuff. All right, guys. We talked about a lot of the offense here and the defense, and here's our man Jeff Kerr, John, the statistician as we call him. But I think the Eagles.
Jeff will be on tomorrow, by the way.
And John, I think I think there's a pro and a con to this, because you talked about the Eagles offense and you said they're just too conservative. And I agree with you. And I think this is the reason why. Jeff Kerr tweets, over the last 19 games, the Eagles have 8 giveaways and 39 takeaways. Now, everybody can do the math on that, but They're winning the turnover margin or turnover differential
Yeah,
by a wide margin. And I
doing
think they're so in love with that. They are not willing to put the ball at risk to get a big play. And they're good if they win the turnover margin. And look, they win the turnover margin today. It was ugly, but they win the game again. And I think they're real.
Well,
I think that's really what's happening.
it's funny because I get a lot of crap for criticizing Jalen Hurts. And I want everybody to put up their, take off their earphones and listen closely. I'm the one who says they are unfair to Jalen Hurts because they don't trust him enough. It all harkens back to the 2-2 start last year, and they turned it over too much. We can all agree with that. We can all stipulate to that. But I also think Game 4 was in Tampa, where they had no Lane Johnson, no A.J. Brown, no DeVonta Smith, and it was a shit show as predicted. And they overreacted to that. Now, they won the Super Bowl. So from their standpoint, they're like, see, it worked. And they're continuing it. But they're not going to win another Super Bowl by continuing to play the way they played in weeks 1 and 2. So you can point to that, and we'll talk to Jeff about that tomorrow. Obviously, it's an impressive stat. Obviously, they value that stat, as I explained, more than that, and explosive plays more than any other. But there's a give and take to it. And you're decreasing.
Hey, John, I saw more explosive plays yesterday in Temple getting killed by Oklahoma. I'm kidding.
That's true. Did they score? No, that was Villanova. Who did Villanova play? Villanova played somebody, didn't they?
Yeah. Who'd they play? Yeah. Did they play Oklahoma? Was that the team they ended up playing? I don't know. Holy cow. John, would you not agree one thing, though? The offense itself is not very complicated. It hasn't been complicated for years. Yeah.
I
mean, it's just not a very creative.
But there's nothing wrong with that. You're Jimmy Johnson's buddy. Ask Jimmy about his deep.
Run
his
right,
offense.
run left, play defense, let's go home. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. The Eagles are about execution, out executing, out talenting people. That's what they're about. That's what they're about.
You hear that,
they've won 16 straight games.
Hurts 2,500 yards this year and 15 TDs. They can win a Super Bowl. Who cares, right?
2,500 fucking yards.
Shit. By the way, he would have to pick it up to get to 2,500 yards.
John with an over the top, off the top rope one.
Ask Jeff Kerr. Do the math. He's not on pace
off
to
the
throw
top rope. John McMullen on that.
He's not on pace to throw for 2,500 yards.
Woo!
No, he's not.
Man, nope.
2,500 yards, like 140 yards a game, isn't it?
Well, Zander, he's thrown for like 120 yards.
Let's do the math.
He's on pace for 1,800 yards.
Let's do the math.
No,
152.
He's on pace for 1,500 yards.
152. 101.
Don't do it, John. You're good. John,
times
don't do
16.
It.
Big Phil, I'm gonna have to cross that one off the bold prediction. I'm gonna have to cross that one off the bold prediction list.
Too many emails, John. You're going to get on this one. He's on pace for 1,892 yards, 15 touchdowns.
2,000. He's on pace for about 2,150 yards.
Jesus. Even Arch Manning will have better numbers.
Oh gosh. All right, let's wrap it up here. I'll get your guys' final thoughts. Johnny Mac, coming to you first. Your final thought. Eagles 2-0. They get a W at Arrowhead, and they're 2-0 on the year. An ugly one, but they get the win. John, your final thoughts here on this week 2 matchup between the Eagles and the Chiefs.
Ugly game, but they got the win. I mean, what do you want? Do you want to subscribe to Jalen Hurts rules? Winning is all that matters. Then it's a positive. If you want to be contextual about it and say you can't sustain this level of offensive play, I think it's more realistic. I think they'll get better. That and the tush push is dead. We just don't know it yet.
Good final takeaways from J-Mac. Big Sills, coming to you. I can see you stewing like a pot of tea, waiting for me to come to you. Your final thought on this 2-0 start for the Birds, Sills.
Well, everything John McMullen hates in life, I will be talking about on Monday.
No.
Hey, the over the top, shitty situational play calling, all of that will be on display. But hey, it's only 8 quarters.
Sills, I always say this to people. There's 2 different Silios. There's post-game Sileo, and there's the National Football Show Sileo. They are 2 different beings, basically.
Yes, that's the talk show. This is the football, dude.
Yeah,
that's the
I'm very consistent.
Yes, you are. We
know
what we're
getting from Not me. Come Monday, baby. 2 to 6. Big Sills has got you covered here. Bobo Patullo.
Sills, you got the flamethrower. You got the flamethrower.
But like Angelo, you know what Angelo calls him? Angelo Cataldi. John calls Kevin Patullo Bobo Patullo.
Well, Bobo Patullo. He better do something to change.
Angelo. My guess is Angelo will have them at 2-15 after this performance. 2-15.
Absolutely. Great stuff,
boys.
man.
Great stuff on the post-game show. Appreciate both of you guys doing it. We'll catch you in the morning, John, on Birds 365 from 8 to 10 and the National.
All right. Thanks all.
2 to 6. Thank you, guys.
See you guys later.